Hey, this is Rene, welcome back for another video on this channel. It is the 1st of May, so I will make another analysis for the last month and actually for the whole trading period of my live streaming, live trading account. And I'm in a good mood because this was the recovery of the century in the last month, probably. The account is at an absolute all-time high.
This video is presented by BM Trading. Learn to code your own expert advisors. Link in the description.
I don't know what to say. It's just amazing how good this portfolio performs in these challenging market conditions. So let's have a closer look and figure out how this could happen. So if we have a look here at the account in the history, we can see 41,000 euro of the 61,000 euro in this account currently is pure profit. So I net deposited 20k at this point and the rest is pure profit. So this is as profitable as it gets. So let's have a look at where the indices are. And this is very interesting because if we have a look at this, we see this massive impact that the Trump had, like his tariffs war. And this was actually at the beginning of last month. To me, it feels like it was far away, but it is just like 1 month away. And actually this it had absolutely no effect on the indices after 1 month because it went down a lot, but it already recovered all of this again. And here, this is a perfect example of what I talked about multiple times already in my analysis videos. This might seem like a zero-sum game, but for my account, this was actually one of the best things that could have happened. In the meantime, of course, there was a big drawdowns, and drawdowns are never good, but the recovery was just insane. And this is because on the way back up, and this is just the example looking at US Tech, my strategies generated a lot more profits than they generated losses on the way down. And this is because, I also talked about this last month, because of the gaps here. Like this is basically where I called this free money in one of my videos. It's of course not really like free money, but it sometimes feels like, because these downwards gaps that are created over like weekends or just over midnight, they are left out by my strategies like the go long and the turnaround Tuesday. And then on the way back, I realized all of the profit gains that are then made. Also, I do have sometimes a lot of leverage with, for example, my turnaround Tuesday strategy, or also my range breakout EA that I also trade in the indices, which can increase the profits on the way back up by a lot. And we will have a detailed look at the analysis in a second of the different markets. But yeah, this is just like, this was for US Tech. Let's also have a look at like D40 for the last month. And here we see a kind of similar picture. Like at the very left side here, we have the beginning of April. We can see we are now at the same level. But here again, like on the way down, we had some extremely huge gaps, like here, here, and stuff like that. I mean, we sometimes occasionally also see this on the way up, and of course I don't want to hide this fact, but from my experience and also from the backtest that I did, the downwards gaps, they happen more often and they are bigger usually, and this is a very big driving factor for the profitability of this account currently. So that you understand where all of this profit is coming from and why the account is doing so incredibly much better than the indices. So last index here that I usually show at the beginning of a month is US 30. US 30, like Dow Jones, it's I think it's actually still a bit down. It did not recover like all of the like Trump stuff here. Yeah, if we have a look, this one is still down a bit in the last months, but also same thing. Like we saw a lot of like good trades with like turnaround Tuesday strategy, a lot of downwards gaps that that kind of gave me like this free money that I talked about. So yeah, these are just factors that are super extremely beneficial for the account. And also this month I want to have a special look at where's at Euro US dollar, because Euro US dollar lately opened a lot of trades actually. So we can see it here. The range filter is kind of restrictive, but since the ranges are so big lately because of all of this volatility, we saw a lot of trades. And it's crazy how good the strategy performed. Like most of these trades were winning trades. Like this is a win, this is a win, this is a win. This was a loss, but this is a win, this is a win. So you can see this is also for Euro US dollar was I think a crazy month. So I'm curious to see how this turned out. If we now have a look at this in my trade buddy tool. So let's move to my local PC, and I prepared this already. This is the complete performance based on the 50,000 euro that was my initial account size. I mean, I did not deposit 50k, but this was always the account size that I talked about from the first video on. So this is of course also where I base all of my analysis on. So we can see that, we are at an absolute all-time high. I just don't know how to explain this anymore, because it's so much better than I ever expected when I started trading this like 1 year and 1 month ago. And yeah, we can see all of the trades are here until the end of April, and we go way back. Like it's 1 year and 1 month now, and the account made 41,000 euro. Oh, yeah, 41,000 on 50,000. So let's have a look at the last month first. This will be actually kind of interesting because of all of this volatility that we saw in the market. So end was this 30s, I think. So if we filter the last month, and this is so crazy. Like, I mean, there was this drawdown, and it was a 10k drawdown, so don't get me wrong. This was a bigger drawdown, and actually, like, unrealized, this is only the look at the balance, but if we would have a look at the equity, it would be even below this, like way below this. So at one point I was a little bit like I was a bit like in a bad spot, because I needed to deposit more money for the margin, and I also did this. I talked about this already in my videos. I made 2 deposits actually at the beginning of last month when everything went south, and you can see like 10k was deposited and 20k, but it took IC Markets like I think 2 days or so to process the deposit, and that was actually a crucial moment because I was very close to getting stopped out, but luckily I was not stopped out. And but we can beautifully see the drawdown here, and we can also see the crazy quick recovery, and then from this point on it's just making more profits. So let's have a look at what strategy is the reason for all of this going on. Let's have a look at the go long strategy first. We will see, of course, a lot of losses at the beginning of the month and then the recovery. And this is also exactly what I talked about. Like you can see, like this is US 30. And if we remember correctly, US 30 was the one that was net negative in the last month. And still the go long strategy was positive or profitable. And this can only happen if we see these like downwards gaps that are bigger than the gaps that we see in the long direction. And luckily this happened a few times last month. So strategy go long made quite a nice profit, like 850 euro in US 30. Let's move to US Tech. I think we will see a similar picture. Here it's even better, far better actually. This one made 4k in the last month. Then we have a look at the German index. Here it is also very good, 2.8k one in the last month. So overall, just the go long strategy in the last month, with all of this volatility and the choppy markets and everything, it made nearly 8,000 euro. And for everyone who is asking why I use this strategy, why I don't use a stop loss, etc., why I don't just use ETFs or invest, this is the reason. Because there's a lot of there are good like chances and possibilities with short-term trading strategies like this, leveraged. So let's go to the turnaround Tuesday strategy. The Turnaround Tuesday strategy was also extremely profitable in US 30 last month. We saw a lot of trades, which is not a surprise because the market went down quite a bit. And if you remember, this strategy only triggers a trade if we are below the moving average. So we saw a lot of trades. Only one of these trades was a losing trade. So Turnaround Tuesday strategy was just brilliant in US 30 last month. I also have the strategy in US Tech and it was also super profitable. And I have the strategy in DE40. Here it was also profitable. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so the Turnaround Tuesday strategy, it performed exactly how it should or how it would in the best possible case. Like the markets went down, then there was the recovery and the Turnaround Tuesday strategy was there and realized all of the possible profits. 3K profit just with the Turnaround Tuesday strategy in the last months. Which brings me to the last strategy, which is the range breakout strategy. And this will take a while because I traded in 6 charts. Let's start with US 30. We have some losses here in the range breakout EA in the Dow Jones. Let's move to the DE40, the German index. We have, one trade, small profit. Then we have USD Japanese yen, and there were a lot of trades and it was a small profit. Yesterday there was a very bad trade, a complete stop out, which wiped out most of the profits, but overall still profitable months for USD Japanese yen. Now this is where I'm very curious. I showed you the chart before, Euro US dollar. What the frick is going on? This is Euro US dollar just April 2025. And after this, I want to do the long-term performance review for every strategy because the Euro US dollar was really struggling for the last year. And this shows perfectly how one single month can make up the performance for 1 or 2 years. So 2,000 euro won in Euro US dollar, which brings me to GBP US dollar. This is break even. GBP US dollar is still really struggling. We will see this in a second. But let's go to gold. Gold also, it was not so active because here the range filter was kind of restrictive, but still, I think it was the last week, we saw a few very good trades. And this is the reason why there is still 900 euro profit in April in gold. And I think at this point we can say with all of the choppiness and volatility that was going on and all of the panic for my trading account, I think this was the best month ever. Let's go for all of the strategies. Last month, all of the strategies and everything, it made 13,000 euro and 800. 13,867 euro and 20 cents to be precise, which is insane in my opinion. For me personally, this is crazy coming just from this trading account. Okay, so to sum up, I think every strategy was profitable or break even except for range breakout EA in US 30. So now let's go ahead and filter the whole period for this account. And let's see where exactly the 41,000 euro profit are coming from. I will just go through the same strategies again. This might be boring to some of you, but some of you who follow this might be interested. And personally, I'm interested in this. So the go long strategy now currently is profitable in US 30. Oh, and I want to do one thing before we do this analysis. I also prepared my MetaTrader here and I marked the point in all of the big stock market indices where I started trading my trading portfolio. And you can see here, this is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 made around 7, let's give it 8% in the same period where my account made 80%. Then the US 30 in the same trading period where my account made 80% made 3%. US Tech made 8, or let's give it 9%. And D40, this one was actually performing good, like the German stock market index. It made around 25%, but still, my account somehow managed to do 80%. And this is, of course, only possible with leverage. But this is, again, I just want to respond to some of the comments in the chat, usually asking for, why I don't just invest and stuff. And this is the reason. If I do trading strategies like this, if I build a portfolio like this, I kind of want to have a outperformance. of the indices, and therefore I risk much, of course, but I'm aware of this. But that's pretty much just what trading is. Like, if you don't want to risk something, you should not trade. Okay, so let's do the long-term analysis for all of the accounts. Let's figure out where the money is coming from. So starting with US30, US30 in the same period here made 1.2%, which is actually, I think, a little bit worse than the market. Yeah, the market outperformed the go long strategy, just the go long strategy. But still, it's just an addition in my portfolio, so it's still good to have it. US Tech made 8.5K. Here you see the graph, and again, quick comparison. Yeah, outperformed the index. Oh wait, I was wrong here. The index here made 3%, and my account made 1.2, but 1.2K on a 50K account is actually 2.4%. So the go long strategy is not that bad in US30. And then, yeah, as I showed in US Tech, it definitely outperformed the go long strategy, outperformed the market a lot. Then let's move to the German index. Also very interesting because this index was very strong overall. Yeah, go long strategy made 12,000 euro, which is around 24% in my account. And this is pretty much spot on to the performance of the index here, which is great. Great achievement. I'm following the index, and that's exactly what the go long strategy should do. And then let's move to let's go with the Turnaround Tuesday strategy. Turnaround Tuesday strategy overall in the last 1 year and 1 month made a small profit of 250 in US30. Then in US Tech, it made a profit of 620. In DE40, made a profit of 1.9K. This brings us to the range breakout EA. The range breakout EA in US30 is currently minus 550 euro. Then in DE40, the range breakout EA is minus 580. It's just not performing in the indices so far, but we also have USD Japanese yen, and here it's doing very good, plus 2,000. Then Euro US dollar. Here we see the impact of the last month. It's very nice to see. 1.8K in profit now. Then GBP US dollar. This one is actually performing very bad. It's down 2K. The worst strategy symbol combination that I have in this account. And then the all-time favorite, gold, with a crazy performance of 15,500. So to sum up, the account is doing great. I'm super happy. Only 3 charts are negative currently, which is US30, DE40, and GBP US dollar trading the range breakout EA. Everything else is performing just perfect. Yeah, I don't know what to say. At this point, my most successful project that I ever had when it comes to trading, and I'm enjoying the journey. Hope you also liked this little insight, and let's pray that the next year can also be as successful as last year. I hope you also had good trades, and as always, if you're interested to learn more about the strategies and stuff, check out the other videos on my channel. And if you want to learn how to write your own strategies, which I can only recommend, check out the links below this video. You will find a link to my website and a complete programming course. With this said, I'm out, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great time. Good trades. Bye.